Hi students, we have to discuss a new lesson in zoology, that is chapter number 3, reproductive health. What is reproductive health? Normally it represents a society with people having physically and functionally normal reproductive organs. So it represents a society with people having, that is physically and functionally, that is normal reproductive organs. Now we have to know something about reproductive and child health care, simply called as RCH. So India is amongst a few countries in the world to initiate the family planning program since 1951. All these programs are popularly known as reproductive and child health care. Now, what are the major tasks carried out by RCH, that is reproductive child health care? Number 1, creating awareness and provide medical assistance to build a healthy society. This is number 1. Number 2, introducing sex education in schools to provide information about the adolescence, the period of adolescence, and the adolescence related changes. What are the changes taking place at the time of adolescent period? That's number 2. Number 3, educating couples and those in marriageable groups about the available, that is what we have, the contraceptive methods and family planning norms. We have to educate them. And the 4th one, creating awareness for care about, that is the pregnant mother, postnatal mother and child, and the importance of breastfeeding. That's the 4th one, I am not represented here. Okay, so creating awareness about the care for the pregnant mother, the postnatal means after birth, postnatal mother, postnatal care for mother and child, and the importance of breastfeeding. Encouraging and supporting those people, that is the governmental and non-governmental agencies, to identify new methods and also to just actually improving upon what we have, the existing methods of birth control, to identify what is called the new methods and improving upon the existing methods about the birth control. These are all the various tasks or the major tasks carried out by RCH. I mentioned about the various tasks carried out by RCH, reproductive child health care. There are 5 points I mentioned, already described about these points, 4th and 5th. Okay, already described. You go through that one. Now, healthcare programs taken up at the national level by the government of India. So what are the healthcare programs taken up at the national level by the government of India? As per the book, it is given the following, the various healthcare programs. Number 1, massive child immunization, either for polio or for any other disease. Okay, supply of nutritional food to the pregnant women to improve their health. The 3rd one, Janani Suraksha Yojana. The 4th one, Janani Shisu Suraksha Karyakram. Now, the 5th one, ornament CH plus A. R for reproductive, A for maternal, N for newborn, just actually C for child, and then that is what is called actually adolescent health. This is an integrated program for all these things together. Now the last one, Pradhan Mantri Surakshit, that is Mantriva Abhiyan. So these are all the various programs taken up at the national level, the healthcare programs, just actually by the government of India to improve the child health care, reproductive and child health care. These are all the programs, particularly the healthcare programs for improving the quality of the pregnant mother, then just maintaining the child without any diseases, etc. Okay, that's about that one. Now we have to go. Suppose you are taking, for example, every year 800 women die because of mainly what we have, preventable diseases related to what is called pregnancy and child health. Of these 200 women, 20% from India. Even in the case of India, the infant mortality rate is higher, 44 per what we have, that is 1000 live, that is infant mortality rate. And also maternal mortality rate is also high as comparing to other developing countries. These are all some of the statistical data given in the book. I write down on the board. Some statistical data is given in the book related to maternal mortality rate. Now globally, all over the world, 800 women die every day because of preventable diseases. Those diseases can be prevented. And those diseases related to pregnancy and childbirth. These are all the diseases can be prevented. Even though it can be preventable, because the death rate is there. Now, of this 800, 20% of women from India. In India, the infant mortality rate is high. 44 for every 1000 live. 44 for every 1000 live. Even the maternal mortality rate is also high as compared to other developing countries. So anyway, the infant mortality rate, maternal mortality rate, all high in India as compared to other countries. Now the next one, what is amniocentesis? Now it is a diagnostic technique, normally a medical diagnostic technique. What for? So it is a prenatal diagnostic technique before birth. Prenatal means before birth. It is a prenatal diagnostic technique to detect any chromosomal abnormalities in the developing fetus. That is what we are taking the amniotic fluid from what is called the amniotic cavity and testing the cells circulating in that fluid either for Down syndrome or for any other syndrome, etc. Then nowadays it is for find out what we have chromosomal abnormalities. But nowadays you know that one it is being used, what we have misused. There may be a chance of female feticide. Once the sex of the fetus is known, there may be a chance of female feticide. If it is a female fetus, then feticide is being done. Then that's why the government has taken step and a statutory ban on amniocentesis is imposed by the government to prevent what is called such abnormalities used by the people. Okay, so a statutory ban on amniocentesis is imposed to prevent the female what is called feticide or female infanticide. Okay, that's about what is amniocentesis. We have to go for the sex ratio, female feticide and also infanticide, etc. What are the measures taken by the government to prevent the female feticide, infanticide, etc. Now let's see what are the social impact of sex ratio, female feticide and infanticide. What is sex ratio? The sex ratio is a ratio of males to the females in a population. The ratio between males and females in a population. Now in India, the child sex ratio has decreased over a decade. That is from 921 to 917 females for every 1000 males. That means the number of female child and the number of females normally is less when compared to the males. That's why you see that when I mentioned as decreased. The ratio has decreased. Sex ratio between male and female has decreased over a decade. That is for every 929 to 917 females, there are about 1000 males. Out of this one, we have 929 to 917 females. That is a decrease from 929 to 917. So far, even also it is decreasing and so on. Now also. Now to correct this ratio, what is called the sex ratio? What is to be done? Steps to be taken. Steps are needed. What for? To change the mindset and attitude of people. We have to change the mindset and attitude of people about what we have ill feelings about the female children. Especially in young adults, we have to change the ill feelings. Then only you can correct this one, just decreasing the number of females. Okay. And female, just in what is called the feticide and infanticide is due to the manifestation of sex discrimination in the society. In our society we are making this, we are giving more importance to the male children than what is called the female children. That is a main cause of what is called female feticide and infanticide. That's when the book it is given, manifestation of gender discrimination, differences between male and female. We are giving actually more importance to the males than females. That's a gender discrimination. Now what is female feticide? It refers to aborting the female in the womb of the mother. That's called female feticide. What is infanticide? It refers to killing female child after birth. And because of what is called female feticide and infanticide, what is happening? Imbalance in sex ratio occurs. More males than females. There is an imbalance in sex ratio occurs. This is because of female feticide and female infanticide. And that resulted in what we call imbalance in sex ratio. More number of males than females you can find here. For every 1,000 males, only 929 to 917 females. That means the number from 929 to 917 already decreased. So we have 917 females for every 1,000 males. That is an imbalance. Okay. Now, let's go for some of the expansions, acronyms, and also the measures taken by the government to prevent the female feticide and infanticide. Why there is more, that is infanticide and female feticide in India? Now we have, there is an organization, that is UNDP XII 2018. The expansion for that one, United Nations Developmental Programs, Gender Inequality, what is called Index. Now in this one, that is 2018, reflected that India was ranked 135, that is a position out of 187 countries, due to availability of very few economic opportunities to women as compared to men. So there is an index created by what is called this one, UN, that is DP, GIA. The index, according to the index, that is India is 135 out of 187 countries. This is because of due to very few, there is economic opportunities availability to women when compared to men. Now what are the steps taken up by Government of India to prevent, that is feticide and infanticide? Number 1, PCPNDT Act 1994. The expansion for that one, pre-conception, prenatal diagnostic technique, Preconception Prenatal Diagnostic Technique Act. This actually act was enacted to ban on the identification of sex by using amniocentesis, and also to prevent the use of prenatal diagnostic technique, namely amniocentesis, for selective abortion, particularly the female child. So the act was enacted to ban on the identification of sex and to prevent the use of prenatal technique, that is what is called prenatal diagnostic techniques, nothing but amniocentesis, to know the sex of the baby. Then it is known, then they are doing what is called the female feticide. That is being actually imposed by the government, enacted this rule to prevent what is called female feticide or infanticide. Now what are the other actually measures taken by the government? Let's see. Now we are talking about the various measures taken by the government. The first one we have already seen about to enact 1994 PNP, just what we have, prenatal, preconception, prenatal diagnostic technique, prevention to identification of sex. Now the second measures taken by the government. So various measures are taken by the government, what for? To ensure survival of the female children. Then provide better nutrition, education and protection to the female children. That's the second one. The third one, empowerment of girls. How? By eliminating the differences in sex ratio, equality between male and female. That is giving more power to the girls just by eliminating differences in sex ratio. We have to have only one. Both male and females are equal in number in all aspects. Then we have also eliminating the infant mortality rate by means of increasing the medical facilities. Then improving the education and nutritional status, etc. So these are the measures taken by the government. The second one, the general measures. Now the next one, what is POCSO? This is another act what is implemented by government. So prevention of children from sexual offences. Prevention of children from sexual offences. This is another act. Then sexual harassment at workplaces. We have to prevent that one. We have to prohibit that one. Also we have to have redressal. Just to actually how to compensate that one. Committee. That is, we have to discuss how far we have to provide justice to those children. Now, changes in the criminal law based on the recommendations of committee. One justice by name Justice Verma. So, Justice Verma committee recommended the main aim of Justice Verma committee aims at creating what is called safe and then secure environment. Safe and secure environment both for males and females, and that is a Verma committee recommendation. Safe and secure actually environment both for males and females, that is with reference to the children, and that is our Verma committee recommendation. So these are the different measures taken by the government to prevent female feticide and infanticide. Now we have to go for the next one, population explosion, and what is the alternative measure for that one, that is what is called the birth control. What is population explosion? How it can be controlled? The rapid and dramatic increase in population growth all over the world is called what is known as population explosion. This is nothing but the sudden acceleration of population growth. Sudden acceleration of population growth, that is called population explosion. Normally, increased health facilities and better living conditions enhance the longevity, that is the lifespan. Now, suppose if you are just taking or calculating or just analyzing the population of India, it has already reached 1.26 billion, and it is estimated that by 2022, it is normally just becoming the largest country in terms of population size by 2022, even surpassing the China's population. What is the method to overcome the problem of population explosion or population growth? The only just a solution to the problem of population explosion is birth control. So problem population explosion is birth control. It's the only solution. So people should be motivated to have smaller families by using various contraceptive devices. Okay, the only solution to control population explosion is birth control. Further, people should be motivated to have smaller families just by using various contraceptive devices. Now, what are the measures or steps taken by government to control population growth? That is in India. Number one, advertisement. That is by the government, in the media, in the form of posters, bills, etc. With the slogan, Nam Iruvar, Namakirvar, we two, ours two. Again, now it is being reduced, Nam Iruvar, Namakorvar. That is normally we two, ours one. And that one have motivated to control the population growth in Tamil Nadu. This is a slogan just actually created by the government just to control the population growth in Tamil Nadu. That's imposed by the Tamil Nadu government. And what are the other measures? Now, we have the marriageable age is rising from, actually just we can say, the marriageable age is rising in the case of what is called females to 18, and in the case of males it is about what is called 21. That is called statutory, that's permanent rising, statutory rising of what is called the marriageable ages, that is about 18 years in the case of female and 21 years in the case of male. This is other measure, the second measure. Third measures, nowadays the government is giving incentives, the bonus, to the couple who have smaller families, that is only one child or two children. They are being given incentives in the form of bonus, some compliments, etc. by the government to promote or to motivate the people to have smaller families. So these are all the measures related to what we have actually the government to control population growth or to control population explosion. Now I already mentioned about the first method of motivating the people through media. The second and third one also I mentioned about. That is nothing but statutory rising of marriageable age of females to 18 years and that of male 21 years. This is permanent. Statutory means permanent. And also incentives are given to the couples with smaller families. They have only one child or two children. These are all about what we have, the alternative measures, the controlling measures to control population growth. Now we have to proceed toward the birth control methods, what we are adapting in our life. The next class. Okay, thank you.